March is known as the Stormy Basho in sumo, purportedly for the wild upset results that have come out of it historically, despite the fact that between Takatoriki in 2000 and Terunofuji in 2021, it was won almost exclusively by Yokozuna with just a sprinkling of Bozeki, so the top two ranks in the sport. The last 3 years, though, it's actually lived up to the nickname, so like a pair of Sekiwake scored Yusho victories in 2022 and 2023, which isn't that impressive, but it was Wakataka Kage and Kiribayama, so surprise guys at the beginning. Or at least for the time they won those. But the big surprise was 2024 when Takeru Fuji took the title in his debut, the first time a Rikishi had done that for over 100 years. So baby steps at first, but maybe Osaka's starting to earn their stormy reputation and stand it alongside their image as Japan's counterculture hub. I'm not an expert or anything, but traveling from Tokyo to Osaka and Osaka to anywhere else in Japan, it feels completely unique. Japan has an international reputation for conformity, and Tokyo on a Wednesday at the start of the workday definitely fits the image, with commuters crowding morning subways and trains all in uniform blue suits, and salarymen pouring into Shimbashi izakayas after the workday to get drunk. It all follows an easy stereotype, if not completely true pattern. But Osaka, with its youth culture at least, and around Amerikamura, has a reputation for counterculture with skateboarding, graffiti, punk music, or even the audacity to walk on the quote-unquote wrong side of the stairs in the subway. And while this isn't universally true for its sumo or its people, for me it's useful to know that the stereotype exists both in Japan and abroad to understand why I love Ura so much. So okay, let's rewind for a second. Or for 400 years, whatever, dealer's choice. But coming out of the Sengoku Jidai, so the Warring States era, Japan was more or less reunified by 3 different powerful daimyo or samurai lords. There's a saying in Japan that's something like Oda Nobunaga set the table, Toyotomi Hideyoshi cooked the meal, and Tokugawa Ieyasu ate it. But between those last two unifiers, Toyotomi and Tokugawa, there was this one last battle at Osaka Castle, a stronghold for the Toyotomi, where the Tokugawas defeated the Toyotomis, moved the capital to Edo, modern-day Tokyo, away from Kansai, where Osaka, Kyoto, Nara are, and where traditionally the capital had been. So that's where we see it today. And it makes sense historically then why Osaka and Kansai would feel like they had a bone to pick with Tokyo and Kanto, and why somewhat of a counterculture spirit could be deep-rooted there. Whatever the reason, Osaka has a reputation for being different, and for me anyway, the best example of this is Ura. Whether it's his teeny tiny baby salt throws, the Sakura pink mawashi, his wild acrobatic victories, or the fact that despite tradition and protocol he can't help but smiling after a match, win or lose, the guy can't help but stand out on the dohyo. And so normally Rikishi are supposed to be demure and reserved, they're kind of supposed to be a modern embodiment of that traditional idea that Japanese should be respectably discreet at all times, but if anyone has earned the right to just enjoy the ride and smile, it's definitely gotta be Ura. The man has not once but twice bounced back from blowing out one or both knees and reclimbed the ranks into the top of the world of sumo. And if it weren't for Terunofuji's own rise to Yokozuna after blowing out his knees, Ura would be hands down the best comeback story in modern sumo. And if not for those injuries, there's no telling how high he could have risen. He was a collegiate and amateur standout before turning pro in 2015, where he promptly opened his career 38-4 over his first year, and made it to the Sekitori salaried ranks in just those 12 months. It took him 5 tournaments to get out of Juryo, even though 3 of them were monster double-digit victory tournaments, and when he finally made it to Makuuchi, he did have an 11-win tournament and even earned a gold star off of Yokozuna Haruma Fuji just after his 25th birthday. So before the knees went out and he lost 3.5 years of his career, who knows how high this guy would have gone. But you know what? Despite all that, the guy's still smiling, still bucking trends, he's still out there swinging at the top of the Bansuke, and he's still out there acting like the most fabulous example of Osaka counterculture in sumo, and I couldn't be more on his side these next 2 weeks in Osaka. So, enjoy the Basho, everybody. If you have a chance, root for the hometown boy, and thanks for watching.